a new checkpoint, a new authority, and a new person? Who the fuck is that? ReZero Season 4 Episode 14 has dropped, ladies and gentlemen, and holy, there is quite a bit to cover. Now, apologies if I look rough during this video. I didn't get to record yesterday, so I'm doing it straight on the next morning. So I literally just woke up and thought, you know what? I need to lock in on a ReZero video right now. So I'm looking a bit dazed. I'm looking a bit like messed up. But alas, who gives a fuck about that? Because this peak we talked about. The episode begins with Subaru waking up after escaping Rui in the corridor of memories. After being informed about where the other members are and the current situation, Subaru tells Beatrice, Foxidna and Melee that he wasn't able to learn anything about Reid Astrea from the Book of the Dead, as he was intercepted with an encounter with Rui within the corridor of memories, who Subaru tells them is also a Sin Archbishop of Gluttony. Julius rushes into the room and says Satella is being attacked by waves of Mar beasts, and Shawla can only do so much on her own. They rush out to meet Shawla on the tower balcony, where she's just going insane as a sniper. Subaru entrusts the assisting role to Melee, who summons the worm Marbeast to do her bidding, helping Shawla defend the tower. Subaru, Julius, Beatrice and Foxidna run back into the tower and run into Ram, who has successfully brought Rem with her on Patricia. Ram says that she saw the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony fighting a silver-haired woman that she's never met before. And oh my god. That was kind of like an insane thing to like say, because obviously so much is going on, right? So much is going on. You know what I mean? They're attacking like Mar beasts are attacking the tower. We just had that whole encounter with Rui, the Sin Archbishops of Gluttony. More, you know what I mean? I'm guessing all three of them are in the tower right now. They're causing mayhem. So it was such a drop. It was such a drop when all of a sudden we just see, who's Amelia? Who is that silver-haired woman fighting Gluttony right now? Who is she? And obviously this startles the fuck out of Subaru, because obviously there's so much going on, and all of a sudden he realizes that these guys in the group, they're talking about a silver-haired woman as if they don't know the name of the silver-haired woman. And all I gotta say is, damn, Amelia was on her way to joining Rem and Julius in the whole Who Is a Meme Hall of Fame. The group quickly realise what's happened, and that whatever happened to Julius must have happened to Amelia. Ram begins experiencing a headache, a repercussion of the memory wipe and reconstruction on her memories, now having both Rem and Amelia's existences wiped from her memory. Two crucial roles of people in her life. It's surely taken a toll. Subaru, Julius and Beatrice proceed to assist Amelia, who's fighting off Lai Kaitos. Amelia is extremely happy and relieved to know that Subaru still remembers her, the person she was most frightened of being forgotten by. Amelia and Julius go toe-to-toe against Lai, as we can see after erasing Amelia's name, he's acquired her ice branding powers, which he uses against them. All of a sudden, Reid Astrea, who has left his room above, has descended upon them, who completely dissed Lai, who tried attacking him. Being unable to find an understanding with Reid, who's enjoying the commotion, Amelia and Julius fight to defeat him. Subaru begins feeling a sharp pain as he closes his eyes. He experiences his new ability from his newly acquired authority called Leonis. And might I just say, the adaptation of this this new authority is absolutely beautiful. It's like whenever Subaru closes his eyes, it's just like a whole galaxy. We're seeing like the whole background is just a galaxy, and obviously the lights that obviously resemble his comrades' positions, that they take the form of coloured flames, and I think it's just so like beautiful and satisfying to look at. And obviously the power of core Leonis is obviously Subaru is able to close his eyes and he's able to just see, no matter where they are, he's able to just pinpoint each of his comrades' positions. They appear as like lights, but what I think like what they did with this adaptation, which is more beautiful, it's just like a whole galaxy in a sense, and each comrade have their own flame colour, and I just think it was just so like mesmerising to look at. It was beautiful. Yeah, this new authority may not be an attack power like Invincible Providence, but being able to track your comrades is quite useful. Shawla, who is in her scorpion form, descends above Subaru, where he loses his leg, saving Beatrice. Shawla, who's about to use her snipe attack at Subaru, Amelia and Julius rush desperately to try and rescue Subaru, but the floor descends below him. Subaru is met with none other than Satella in the black mist, as he and Beatrice are enveloped in its darkness. But yeah, holy fucking shit, a lot of shit's going down, man. A lot of shit is going the fuck down. Obviously the Sin Archbishops You know what I mean? They're attacking. The Mar beasts outside are trying to get into the tower. This whole black mist that obviously we saw in that episode where Subaru jumped onto Patricia. When the whole aura monster scene kind of happened, we could see that the black mist kind of just destroys cells in a sense, because obviously when it was touching Patricia, her cells just kind of broke down and we just saw a lot of blood. That's going on. Satella appears. You know what I mean? The group had to fight Leonis Kaitos, but they had to now fight Reid. I'm just like, so much shit is happening, and I feel so bad for Amnesia Subaru because obviously all this shit is still kind of new to him. My brother's locked in, but it's just obviously being able to try and remember everything and kind of work around a plan to fix each issue. So there's like multiple issues going on there. There's the issue with obviously Rui, which is obviously a later problem now because he has escaped her clutches. But obviously the two main problems, I would say, well, I'd say three. There's three current main problems at the moment. The attack on the tower with all the Mar beasts. Chola apparently had that covered, but now she's transformed. Not only do they have to fight against the Leonis Kaitos, but Reid Astrea descending from the floor upstairs, and he's now becoming a problem. Honestly, I don't know how Subaru is going to conquer this. You know what I mean, bro's gonna have to lock the fuck in, but it just goes to show like how each loop plays a part. You know what I mean? All these new things that happen, he has to kind of remember and try and find the best case scenario to fixing each one. Subaru has returned by death now, and it seems his checkpoint has indeed updated to after he wakes up from reading the Book of the Dead. Now, one thing I liked here is, yes, obviously Subaru is kind of shocked that he's died. Obviously he got enveloped by the shadows. Satella was there. He's obviously died. He's shocked that he's died. He was like, whoa, so much shit was going the fuck on before I died. And obviously he had to deal with the whole dying and returning by death again. But it's just a massive surprise to him now, because this is the first time he's died and hasn't woken up in the same position, which is obviously when he first woke up in the new world as Amnesia Subaru. That was his checkpoint, but now his checkpoint has updated to after he wakes up after escaping the whole of Corridor of Memories. His checkpoint is updated, and this obviously shocks him more because not only is he dealing with the stress of, damn, I just fucking died, damn, there was so much shit going on before I died, but now he's having to like kind of stress about, whoa, my checkpoint has updated, what's the conditions for it, what did I do differently for the checkpoint to, you know, obviously update. And Rem had her existence eaten by gluttony. Subaru finding out that nobody remembered Rem, took his own life to go back to the checkpoint to defeat Betelgeuse again and obviously try and find a way to save Rem. But obviously the checkpoint updated to after Gluttony ate Rem's coexistence from everyone's mind. So there was no saving Rem at that point, and obviously Subaru was stressing like, what are the conditions for a checkpoint to update? The checkpoint has updated, I can't go back and fix it. So obviously the whole checkpoint updating thing, it's useful, but it's scary at the same time. Like, this is just another way of like seeing it on Subaru's face of how scary the checkpoint updated can actually be, because not only does he not know the specification requirements to update the checkpoint, but a checkpoint can update after such a traumatic thing that can't be changed. Just like the whole, he couldn't go back to a checkpoint before Rem had a whole existence wiped from everyone's mind by gluttony. No matter how many times he dies, the checkpoint has updated anyway, he can't go back. So therefore we can just see it on his face, he's stressing about what are the requirements, what if he messes up and the checkpoint updates again and he can't go back and fix it. Obviously the whole return by death, it's useful. The checkpoints are useful because it doesn't, you know what I mean, he's not going all the way back to a starting point. Each time he makes an accomplishment in a way, I believe that's the requirement, in a sense. Checkpoint updates, but it can also be a scary thing because the checkpoint can update, but it's not entirely on Subaru. I believe it's Satella who determines when a checkpoint should take place, so Subaru has no control over it, and I believe that's just a terrifying thing. It just calms Subaru down in this new loop where he's quicker on the update this time. He instantly relies on Marley to go and help Shawla defend the tower, which we can see makes her quite happy to be defended on. Julius enters the room like normal, where Subaru says Reid has left the room upstairs and will become a problem, and where Subaru says he trusts Julius to defeat him and deal with him. With the help of Leonis and meeting up with Ram much quicker in this loop, they are able to rush to Amelia's aid before her name gets eaten by Botokaitos. This time Ram is with the group instead of Julius as they fight against Lai, and this motherfucker is goddamn ruthless. He begins imitating Rem by calling Ram Big Sister and Subaru Big Brother, as the motherfucker has the gall to reenact the infamous scene in season 1. Obviously the season 1 infamous scene is where Rem saves Subaru by talking to him. The whole From Zero scene plays off. You know what I mean? This was a very crucial scene in season 1 and a very crucial moment for Subaru when it came to his character development. Rem saved him during this scene. This motherfucker Lai had the goal to use the memories he stole and reenact that scene to torment Subaru, and I'm like, that is fucking insane. Also, another scary thing with the whole memory thing right now. Like, you could have such treasured memories to you, such personal memories, and this motherfucker Lai will use that shit to torment you, kind of like twist it into something toxic, torment you, like thinking, like, it's quite honestly was like, fuck, he had the goal to do that shit, and obviously he did, because Ram was so quick to deal with this motherfucker unless because of his absolute audacity. While the fighting commences, Light is able to sneak up behind Subaru, and just before he's able to eat Subaru's memories, Shawla in her scorpion form eradicates this motherfucker. Amelia is able to fight off Shawla here by slicing off a claw as it self-destructs. And the cliffhanger that's about to appear right now. Damn, I was like, wow. Wow. I was like, obviously it's so, obviously with everything going on, you don't expect a cliffhanger like this to kind of pop up. Well, it did, and it was just kind of like a holy shit kind of moment, and I believe like a lot of anime owners are going to be very confused. I do think it's going to get explained in the next episode, so hopefully people can avoid spoilers or avoid looking at spoilers. But let's get into the cliffhanger that I'm talking about. Julius and Reid's battle ends up finding their way to Subaru and the group on the lower floor. Julius states he has good news and bad news. The good news is he knows the location of the second Sin Archbishop of Gluttony that they haven't seen yet. The bad news is he's right in front of them. The Sin Archbishop Reid Astrea stands before the group as the one and only Reid Astrea, as the episode ends there. And honestly, obviously people are going to be confused by this, because what do you mean Reid Astrea, one of the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, is Reid Astrea? Has he always been Reid Astrea? Has the Reid Astrea we've seen, this full of himself egotistical motherfucker, this basically a bastard, this ego motherfucker, has all this time, has he just been the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, Reid Astrea? Honestly, bit of a cliffhanger, a surprising cliffhanger to end the episode on. Obviously, because there's so much going on. Like, you know what I mean? You're watching this episode and you're locked in on all the problems that Subaru has to go through, the group have to go through, and all of a sudden the episode ends on like such another like big deal of information, like the Reid Astrea that you've been apparently fighting and seeing all this time has been the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, Reid Astrea. And honestly, I was like, damn, they're really hitting us with the cliffhangers this season, man. The cliffhangers go hard, and obviously I do love it, like the ending theme. I love when they play the ending theme during a scene, because I just think it just adds the kind of just the atmosphere, just like how shit's about to go down type of thing. I just love when they play the ending theme during such like scenes, instead of just like finishing off the episode and then playing the ending theme. But yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna glaze this episode, because I do feel like production wise, animation wise, I don't agree, animation was good. I just feel like they could have done like maybe a bit more. Like, you can kind of tell when watching this, pacing wise as well. You can kind of tell that this was an episode that the production team weren't fully like putting their full focus on, in a sense, and that's completely fine, because like I said, sometimes with these kind of animes, an episode has to struggle. I'm gonna say an episode has to struggle, but the next episodes that contain so much more better content, to have the full attention to detail. So honestly, despite it not having like the full attention to detail, this episode still fucking cooks. Obviously, we're getting to see more of like the hell that the Terror's currently like being put under right now. The Marbies are attacking, Charlotte and Miley are defending the tower. You know what I mean? Subaru has to deal with the whole Charlotte turning into a scorpion out of nowhere. Subaru has to deal with, I'll say Subaru the group, but obviously mainly Subaru because he's the one that's having all the information retained from previous loops. They have to deal with the Marbies attacking the tower, Charlotte turning into a scorpion, Libra to Kaitos, the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, Reid Astrea somehow, and now somehow being also the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, Satella. It honestly, you know what I mean? We're seeing so much happen, and it's like, damn, how is my ghost going to prevail? How is he gonna do it? But he's gonna do it. We know he's gonna do it. Obviously, it's Subaru in that scare. He's gonna figure something out, and we're gonna get to see such amazing episodes this week get adapted. So not this week, in the next coming weeks, we're gonna get to see so many new, like, cool ass motherfucking episodes get adapted, and I can't wait for it. I'm not waiting for it. But alas, if you did enjoy, leave a like. Tell me down in the comment section down below what you thought of the episode. Obviously this video might be still a bit longer, but I've tried to like shorten the way I explain the episode because I feel like I drag on so much. Like I said before, when I make videos, I like to keep them, I don't mind them being long videos, but I like to keep them short and as simplified as possible, just so people don't get bored or anything like that. So I have tried to kind of simplify the information from the episode much more, just so I can do more talking as myself, and obviously the video doesn't drag on to like lengths I didn't need to drag on from. But yep, that's all waffling from me, guys. Honestly, yep, tell me down in the comment section down below what you thought of the episode. And if you're light novel readers, tell me, like, damn, what are you most anticipated for seeing in ReZero Season 4 Core 2, man? Because I've seen so many moments and I'm like, damn, I can't wait to see them. But alas, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Victory!